WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a week since Oktibbeha County voters decided not to sell OCH Regional Medical Center, but the subject was still a talking point at today's Board of Supervisors meeting. County leaders voted to look into a moratorium on hospital sale talks. Parker King was at that meeting, and he joins us live in the studio with more. Parker.
To clarify, a moratorium means the board can't bring up a certain subject for a specific period of time. In this case, the selling of the hospital. Some members believe this will give OCH some breathing room now that the election is over.
The issue, as far as we're concerned, is over, at least for the foreseeable, future.
Which is why Supervisor John Montgomery made the motion for a moratorium, keeping the board from bringing up the sale of OCH for a period of time.
This way we can move on as a community. Us as a board, we need to take our effort and be the best county supervisor we can. We need to let Oktibbeha County Hospital, OCH, move on and be the best hospital that it can be.
The vote was 4-1 in favor of getting an Attorney General's opinion on how long the wait period should be. The one vote against was Board President Orlando Trainer. He doesn't see how a moratorium helps the board do its job.
I think people send to us here as supervisors to do what we seem to think is in the best interest of the county.
Trainer respects the vote to keep the hospital, but a recent decision to begin a search for affiliation partners for OCH has him wanting to dive further into the issue.
To perhaps getting those individuals or giving them an opportunity to assume some of the county's responsibility as it relates to the debt service, that we have, in relation to the hospital.
Regardless, with the majority vote, both sides agree it's time to look to the county's future.
We still got a lot of potential. I think that we need to combine our efforts and focus on moving forward.
We're growing leaps and bounds, and I think that's where we need to continue to put our effort in economic development. And at the same time making the best school and the best hospital, and to move on from this ends the divisiveness, helps us move on through the 21st century as a community.
We'll be sure to keep you updated on the Attorney General's opinion on the matter when it comes down.
The search is on for the next superintendent of the Columbus Municipal School District. In a 3-2 vote Monday, the board decided not to renew Dr. Philip Hickman's contract. The board will now check out hiring firms to help find a qualified candidate for the position. School board president Jason Spears says the legwork in searching for a new superintendent will begin immediately.
I'll contact vendors that do those type of provide those type of services to boards such as ourselves, and then from there in December be able to bring back some of that information to the board for discussion.
The decision to not renew Hickman's contract comes after the board reviewed where the district falls academically. Hickman's contract is set to expire in June. Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves has been in the Golden Triangle for 2 days talking politics. Today he stopped in Columbus. All topics were on the table at Lion Hills. Reeves later sat down with WCBI to talk about mental health facilities, economic development, and social issues. On education, the two-term lieutenant governor also talked about putting more money in state classrooms and, as he says, out of the district offices. He pointed out reading scores and graduation rates are improving, along with implementing educational scholarships for certain students and charter schools. Reeves says many problems in the education system come from how policies are put in place.
If you go look over the last 50 years in Mississippi, we've passed some really good laws in the legislature, many of which just simply hadn't been implemented in a proper way in the executive branch or other things. And so that's one of the things that my staff is working hard with the department and other state agencies. So let's implement these things and actually see if they actually will provide the kind of results that we believe that they will.
Reeves would not definitively say whether lawmakers would attempt to dissolve the current Mississippi Adequate Education Formula or if he's running for governor. The legislative session begins in January. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with a first look at your forecast. Keith?
Really some pretty fine weather this evening. We had some pretty nice color in the sky at sunset just before 5 o'clock. You can see that in Sulligent, Alabama. Temperatures right now across our region. Well, let's first talk about the satellite radar. Not a lot going on. There have been some showers out there in Arkansas. Those will not reach us. Now let's talk about the temperatures here. We are cooling on down. We got a lot of low and mid 50s here across northeast Mississippi and west Alabama. And that will translate into a cool evening but quiet. 50s now, then some 40s here later on this evening, down into the low 40s later tonight. So another chilly one. Not as cold as the last couple of nights, though. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Alabama Republican U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore continues to battle allegations of sexual misconduct. 5 women are now accusing Moore of having inappropriate relations with them decades ago. Our Victoria Bailey was in West Alabama today to find out what residents think about the controversy. She joins us live in the studio with more.
Joey, since allegations surfaced last week, polls show that Moore has lost significant support within the Republican Party. However, those living in Alabama have mixed views. Former Alabama Supreme Court Justice Roy Moore is in hot water after 5 women have come forward accusing him of sexual assault.
Everything you do in the dark will come out to light.
Allegations of sexually inappropriate relations with teenage girls are surfacing around Moore in the middle of his race for the Alabama Senate seat. Glenda Blanchard has lived in Alabama for years and says hearing these accusations is alarming.
You see him out here saying that he's this and he doesn't do this and he believes in God, he believes in the country, he believes in the flag, and then he's going to get out here and all this mess is coming back to haunt him. So sooner or later, he's either going to have to tell the truth or keep lying. But either way, it's going to come out.
The stories of each woman has been similar to what they say happened involving Moore. However, Alabama resident Mary Owens questions if the accusations are true, why weren't they reported years ago?
Why wait until he's going off for senator right now? So me as a woman, I'm not, straightening anything about what people are saying, but if it happened and he had no recognition of even knowing these people until now. So I don't believe it, and that wouldn't stop me from going out to vote.
Some residents say incidents like this around any candidate shines a negative light on the political system as a whole.
I don't feel confident in them at all. I think if you're going to hold a position like this, you need to be upright and trustworthy and stand for what you say. When you're on TV and you give this huge speech, I feel like you need to stand behind your word, because your word is everything. If we can't trust you, then...
Moore will face Democrat Doug Jones in the special election December the 12th. Joey?
It's a little sign that could help prevent a big disaster. We find out more about these overlooked warnings a little later in the show.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. Reports of shots fired and Tupelo keep police looking for suspects around 10 this morning. TPD were called to Colonial Estates Road. The suspect left by the time police arrived and no injuries have been reported. Investigators believe an argument led to the shooting. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi. That number, 1-800-773-TIPS. A Family Dollar employee is charged with aggravated assault involving a co-worker. Starkville PD arrested 46-year-old Brenda Poe for aggravated assault at the Family Dollar on North Jackson Street. Poe later posted a $5,000 bond. One arrest leads to another as a Boonville woman is accused of bringing meth into a courtroom. Yesterday, Melody Carr Presley was arrested for contempt of court while being processed. However, it was discovered that the 47-year-old Boonville woman was hiding methamphetamine. She was then charged with possession of a controlled substance in a correctional facility. Presley is still awaiting a bond to be set.
Low and mid-50s down here in our region right now. Not too bad. Jacket weather required. Much colder back to the north. We will see some cooler weather in here as we get into the end of the weekend. More on that after the break.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, early this morning, meteorologist Alex Puckett was at Sale Elementary in East Columbus. Look at all these kids right here. These very attentive and energetic kindergartners from Miss White's class checking out the weather. Alex was out there talking about all things weather today. Appreciate the enthusiasm from those kids out there today. We have many more visits lined up between now and Christmas break, so just stay tuned for more of that. All right, a live look in Vernon, Alabama right now at Durham's Pharmacy. You can see skies are dark. It is now well past sunset. It's quiet and comfortable across our region right now. Earlier this evening, though, you saw a little wispy cirrus cloud action move overhead. That was a view from Wayman in New Hope this afternoon. You can see some of these higher clouds back to the west trying to stream on into North Mississippi. The rain showers have been staying back there in Arkansas. That's where they will be. There's a front out there across the high plains that will drift on through our region sometime tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So there's a slight chance for a shower. Let's just say most, if not all spots, will stay dry, but we're going to go with a 10% opportunity for a little bit of rain tomorrow. Dry Thursday. We are now making Friday dry, so that bodes well for the high school football games. We're pushing back this front a little bit for Saturday. There's that rain chance at 50%. So we have a weak front tomorrow, maybe a shower or two. The big kahuna, if you will, for the next 7 days between now and Thanksgiving will be Saturday's cold front. There will be a line of showers and storms likely with the front. Timing on that still iffy. Some of those storms could be on the gusty side. We will fine-tune the situation as we get a little bit closer. It doesn't look like a major severe weather episode at this point. That's certainly good news. And there could be another system, a front or an area of low pressure for the middle of next week, right before Thanksgiving. That could impact some travel plans here in the southeast. So those are the three things we are watching at this point. Lower mid-50s across our region right now. Lows tonight down into the low 40s. Just a few clouds out there, nice and quiet. Not as cold as last night. We were down into the mid to low 30s, so a little bit warmer tonight. Tomorrow we start out in the upper 40s at 8 o'clock and then back into the mid 60s during the course of the afternoon. The best chance for one of those stray showers north and west of the Golden Triangle area, closer and closer to the Tennessee state line. There's the front, a little bit of rain possible with that. High pressure for Thursday, and then southerly breezes develop on Friday. Nice and warm here. We're talking about low and mid 70s across the region. Then the front we just talked about comes on into play on Saturday. Sometime Saturday morning or afternoon. We just don't know exactly when it will be, but sometime Saturday that will move on through. A 50% chance for some showers and storms, and then 50s return Sunday and Monday. And look at that low Sunday night down into the low 30s. Joey?
All right, thanks, Keith. When you're approaching a railroad crossing, you usually see several signs alerting you, but there's one that often goes overlooked. It has the railroad crossing number and the 1-800 number that calls the railroad company's emergency dispatch center. It can be a lifesaver if you find yourself stuck on the tracks. The call goes directly to the railroad, and they can stop or divert the train that's en route to the crossing where there's an emergency. First responders and everyday drivers say the sign is just often overlooked.
You have people walking across these tracks, you have people driving across these tracks. And I work right here. And it'd be a good thing for me to know if my little truck were to get off on this track, I have somebody to call.
And our Jory Talley takes a closer look at this sign coming up tonight on WCBI News at 10. Coming up, we reveal our games of the week, plus EMCC finds out if it will be in the national championship game. That's all next in sports.
WCBI Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point. WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
We start with JUCO football. It is official. EMCC will play for the NJCAA National Championship on Sunday, December 3rd. In the Mississippi Bowl, they'll play number 2 Arizona Western. That's Sunday in Parkinson, Mississippi, on the campus of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. We will have more leading up to the Mississippi Bowl in the coming weeks. By the way, ICC was ranked high enough to get into a bowl game, but was not accepted into a game. So we'll look forward to Mississippi Bowl. We'll look forward to EMCC playing for national championship again. It's college football, and we will see the new college football playoff rankings coming up later this evening, so we'll have to wait and see where the Bulldogs Crimson Tide are this week. But we can tell you who each team's going to be playing this Saturday. Alabama will be against Mercer, 11 a.m. kickoff time on the SEC Network. We will have MSU, Arkansas, and Kentucky, Georgia for you right here on WCBI. And the Texas A&M Ole Miss will be a 6 p.m. kickoff time on ESPN2. So make sure you stay bundled up and warm, because if you got a chance to watch Keith Gibson's forecast, got a chance for rain coming up on Saturday, and we'll see how that all plays out outside with football. To high school football in our Carl Hogan Toyota Games of the Week, 2 wins away from playing for a state title are our area teams, and we've got a Game of the Week trio for you this Friday. We are headed to Macon for our headquarters on Friday as Noxubee County hosts Corinth in the 4A North half semifinal. Corinth had the shocker last Friday, topping Pontotoc to advance, while the Tigers bested Yazoo City quite easily. Part 2 of our Game of the Week will be in Ackerman as Choctaw County will host the number 1 team in 3A. That's North Panola. Expect a tough, rugged showdown there between the Chargers and the Cougars. And Part 3, we're headed to the Boneyard as Calhoun City and Philly face off. What some thought may decide the 2A North half final. At the start of the season, we'll decide who advances to play in that 2A North final. We'll be live and have reports from all 3 games coming up this Friday on WCBI Sports. To high school hoops, and coming up in about an hour from now, we will know where Robert Woodard will be playing his college basketball. The 4-star forward from Columbus High School will be committing prior to the Falcons boys home game against Starkville at 7:30. Woodard's top 4 include Mississippi State, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Memphis, and he's one of the top players in the country, has averaged double digits in points and rebounds as a Falcon. He's also a gold medal winner as he guided the USA to the 2015 FIBA America's Under-16 Championship in 2015. You can follow me on Twitter at Robbie Donahoe. I will have a Periscope of the commitment coming up tonight, a little after 7 o'clock from Columbus High School. Let's go to our signings and to one of our area athletes who signed today. That's former East Union urchin Whit Roden, who spent this past season at ICC. He signed his letter of intent to continue his baseball career at Blue Mountain College following his time in Fulton. Blue Springs native appeared in 11 games his freshman year, and finished with a 3-2 record to go along with a 4.06 ERA, but struck out 39 in nearly 38 innings of work. 6'5" lefty is expected to be in the Indians' pitching rotation this spring. More signings at the high school level, though. This is Isaac Staggs of Pontotoc. He made it official as he signed with Blue Mountain College to run cross-country with the Toppers. And at South Pontotoc, 2 signings today for the Lady Cougars, one of which was Judith Mills. She signed with Jones County Junior College, but not just for soccer, but also for tennis. She's a multi-sport athlete, a 6-year starter for the Lady Cougars on the pitch. And Lauren Long signed with Blue Mountain College to continue her softball career. She's been a 5-year starter at South Pontotoc, so congratulations to our area signings from up around Pontotoc. So again, it'll be around probably about 7:30, maybe a little bit earlier than that for Robert Woodard's commitment ceremony. He's going to announce before the Columbus-Starkville game. More than likely won't get a chance to talk to him right before that game, so we'll have a chance to talk to him after that game against the Jackets. So pretty big.
Some coaches will be nervously following your Twitter feed?
A little nervously, yeah. I'd say Mississippi State's in a pretty good position, but Alabama, Ole Miss, Memphis are all in the running for Robert Woodard's services. So we will see who he chooses tonight.
All right. Thanks, Robbie. We'll be right back. The Downtown Columbus YMCA is trying to deliver a knockout blow to a debilitating disease. Rocksteady Boxing, fighting back against Parkinson's. Boxing classes launched this morning. Boxers build their agility, endurance, balance strength through various workouts. The Columbus Y is the first Rocksteady site in the state. The program is having promising results in lessening Parkinson's symptoms. Classes are every Tuesday and Thursday from 10:15 to 11. Looks like it could be a lot of fun. Take out some aggression. Huh?
Can we get one of those installed in the newsroom, Joey?
You know what? I'll make a phone call.
A big one. Okay. Weather-wise, for the next couple of days, we're looking at some fairly tame weather. There could be a shower or two tomorrow. A better opportunity for some rain there on Saturday.
And then it cools down
then
big
it cools
time.
Down, yeah, it's fall chill.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of year,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone.